Welcome to our Cinematic Storycraft English Learning YouTube channel. Today is very interesting story, My Daily Routine as a Teacher. This story is helpful for your English learning, listening, and speaking skills. So listen carefully and feel free and enjoy the story. My name is Ms. Emily Harris, and I've been a high school English teacher for over 15 years. Each day, when the sun begins to peek over the horizon, I'm already up, ready to face a new day. My routine is not just about teaching grammar and literature. It's about shaping young minds, sharing stories, and making connections that last a lifetime. Every morning, I start my day at 6 a.m. sharp. The alarm rings, but I'm usually awake before it, excited about the day ahead. My first task is making a strong cup of coffee. As the coffee brews, I sit by the window, mentally preparing for the day while the aroma fills the room. Once I'm ready, I quickly check my lesson plans. I make sure everything is set for the classes I'll be teaching that day. Sometimes I tweak a few things, add a new activity, or modify an assignment based on what I noticed the day before. By 7:15 a.m., I'm out the door. The drive to school is my quiet time. No music, no radio, just the hum of the car and my thoughts racing about how to engage my students today. Will they understand Shakespeare's wit? Will they enjoy today's poetry lesson? I always try to come up with creative ways to teach, something beyond just reading and writing. I believe every lesson should be an experience. I arrive at school around 7:45 a.m., just before the students start filling the hallways. My first stop is the teacher's lounge, where I greet my colleagues. We exchange a few jokes, but there's always an underlying seriousness. We know that the day ahead is filled with challenges, each student bringing their own story, their own struggles. We are not just teachers, we are mentors, sometimes even the only guiding voice in a young person's life. At 8:30 a.m., my first class begins. Today, it's a group of 10th graders. They're full of energy, and that's both a gift and a challenge. I start the class with a simple icebreaker, a quote from a famous author that they have to interpret. It's amazing to hear their responses, the way their minds work. Some are insightful, some are humorous, and others are completely off track. But that's what makes teaching fun. No two classes are ever the same. As the day progresses, I move from class to class. Each one has its own vibe, its own dynamic. By lunchtime, around 12:30 p.m., I'm exhausted, but there's no time for a long break. I grab a quick sandwich in the cafeteria, chatting with a few students who like to hang around. They often ask me about their assignments, but I enjoy our conversations that have nothing to do with schoolwork. They talk about their dreams, their favorite music, and the latest TV shows. These moments are important to me because they remind me that teaching isn't just about academics, it's about building relationships. The afternoon classes are often the toughest. The students are tired, and their energy levels drop. But I've got a trick up my sleeve: storytelling. Whether it's a personal story from my life or a literary anecdote, I've found that stories can capture their attention better than anything else. Today, I tell them about the time I traveled to Ireland and visited a small bookstore in Dublin that had books older than the United States itself. The room is silent, every eye on me, as they imagine what that must have been like. And just like that, I transition into our lesson on historical context in literature. By 3 p.m., the final bell rings, and the school day officially ends. But for me, it's far from over. I stay behind, grading papers and preparing for the next day. Some days, students drop by after class, seeking help with assignments or just wanting to talk. I'm always happy to help because I know these moments matter. They might not remember every lesson I teach, but they'll remember that I was there for them when they needed someone. I finally leave school around 5 p.m. The drive home is a time to unwind. I reflect on the day, thinking about what went well and what could have been better. Teaching is a job that never leaves you. Even at home, I'm constantly thinking about my students and how I can improve their learning experience. In the evening, I spend time with my family, enjoying a quiet dinner before returning to my lesson plans. Teaching is my passion, and while it's exhausting at times, there's nothing else I'd rather do. Each day is a new opportunity to inspire, to learn, and to make a difference in the lives of the students I teach. And as I drift off to sleep, I know that tomorrow will bring new challenges, but also new joys. Interesting vocabulary and phrases. Improve your English learning, listening, and speaking skills.
Hey, Sophie, I learned some cool words from the story, My Daily Routine as a Teacher. Want to discuss?
Sure, Alex. What's the first word?
The first one is dedication.
Dedication means being committed to something, like when a teacher works hard to help their students succeed. That's dedication.
Got it. The next word is mentor.
A mentor is someone who guides and supports others, like a teacher helping students with advice and knowledge.
Perfect. And the last word is dynamic.
Dynamic refers to something full of energy or constantly changing. In the story, a classroom can have a dynamic environment because every day is different.
Thanks, Sophie. These words are so useful.
Comment your feedback, like, and subscribe our channel.